You're looking at the ESV verse by verse reference Bible in top grain leather. This is a really cool Bible for a few reasons that I'm going to get into. If I can zoom out a little here. Notice first off the top grain leather and the tooling around the edge. This is not a sewn perimeter, but still this leather is very nice, and it's a leather lined as well. So it's leather lined and it's tabbed into the block. This is a 9-point font, and one thing right out of the box with this Bible is that the hinge is really stiff. So if you notice this right here, the hinge, when you try to open up, and I just opened this up, I've looked at it just a little while, but you'll notice that this sheet here is trying to close back because of that stiffer hinge right here. But a couple of features about this Bible that I really like is, number one, it has a margin that you can write in around the perimeter of the Bible. So not so much in the gutter, but around the outside here, you do have place to write. It's nearly an inch, which is about in the sweet spot, in my opinion. This Bible is printed in China. Let me get this page here for you. This is the ESV 2016 edition, and it is printed in China. There's that info there. So I do like the wide margin very much in this Bible. And let me get to the book of Genesis. I'm going to show you another thing I like. Right here. If you notice right in the opening of a book, it has a little introduction to the books of the Bible. Now I know that's just a personal preference. You may hate that idea, but I actually really like that. Sometimes if there's maybe an Old Testament prophet or a book that I'm just have forgotten a little bit about, sometimes that introduction will give you a good snapshot of some info that will be helpful. Now, this Bible, I don't preach so much out of the ESV anymore, although I'm doing a youth event tonight where I'm going to be preaching a message, and I'm actually going to use the ESV. But I don't use the ESV so much, but there is one thing that I have become more of a fan of that I used to not be a fan of so much, and that is the verse by verse. I really do like the verse by verse. It is not necessary. It's not a must-have for me for a preaching Bible. Just because of the way that I preach and teach, I use a lot of slides, and I have my notes in front of me on a tablet. So I don't necessarily have to put notes in. I know where I'm at. But if I am on the fly, if I'm thinking of a different verse and I flip over to it and I'm looking for Acts 7 verse 24, this is going to be very, very easy for me to find. The verse by verse is very, very easy to find. It is helpful if I had a preference between just a paragraph or a verse by verse format. I would choose the verse by verse format. Another really cool thing about this Bible is that it has references. So if I was going to switch back to using the ESV as my main preaching and teaching Bible, this is one that would certainly be high on my list, because for a preaching Bible, I do like references, which this has the references in the bottom right-hand corner of the page, and it is a verse by verse format, which for me, I'm leaning a little bit more toward verse by verse. It's a black letter text. There's no red letter in this edition here, but the 9-point lexicon type is very, very readable. It is not line matched. This Bible is not line matched, but I do not find it to be a problem. I was reading a few pages, and I was trying to get to the ghosting section. Let's get to, here's the Psalms. I mean, you can definitely see some ghosting, and of course, it's always worse on camera, but it isn't any worse than any other Bible I have. So I don't think the ghosting is an issue at all. I would really like to see this in a premium line with the red under gold page edges and maybe a good goat skin cover, although I do love this cover very much. It's a very nice cover. And just like most all of the Crossway, you're going to have the Crossway Bibles. You're going to have the cross references in the back. I'm sorry. You're going to have the concordance in the back. And then you're going to have the glossy maps. You have some glossy maps here. If you are a verse-by-verse guy, and you are a girl, and you like ESV, this one I would highly recommend. Let me see if I can get the ISBN number on here for you. Check that out right there. And of course, it says it retails for $149.99. You can find it much cheaper than that on Amazon or Christian Books, or wherever you purchase your Bible. So there you have it, the ESV verse-by-verse reference Bible. It's an awesome, awesome Bible. And again, I like the one thing I forgot to mention. I'm a big fan of raised tubs. You have raised tubs there on the spine. All right, there you go. You guys have a great day, and thank you, Crossway, for sending me this Bible for an honest review. Take care. God bless.